But I tell you, I want to lead into the newest patch that you know that I tried about 3 weeks ago, and I text you on this because this has to be told to our audience. This is going to blow their mind. We have if I go to an acupuncturist physician for a while, as we know, they're trying to get us to maintain that balance. Now, once we maintain the balance, they have what's referred to as a seasonal adjustment. The seasonal adjustment are primarily to keep open the 12 major meridians that run the thousands of meridians. Think of them as the oceans and the rivers, and all of the other meridians are the creeks, right? So if I keep those 12 open, spiritually, mentally, and physically, the body was just made to perpetually continue to go. Well, we have a breathing exercise that is totally focused on that. It's called the meridian cleansing breath. And I get to share with your audience and with you for the first time openly that your mass patch, your very new patch, I call it the Qigong patch, because what I did is I stuck it on about the fourth vertebrae in my lower back, which acupuncture medicine refers to that point as the Ming Min point, refers to that as the gate or push of life. When people, again, are passively depressed and want to sit on the couch all the time, according to the acupuncture physician, that point almost has no chi, almost has no energy. Well, let me tell you what, talking about an acupuncture with their finger on my hip, I've often said that when your chi is good in your lower back, that push of life, Steve, is so strong. It feels like a warm hand in your lower back, just pushing you in life forward. I put that patch on, and that was the first point to open up. And then you're going to get real excited. The next thing that happened was the first major meridian in the body, which they call the governing vessel that goes up the spine. And then the conceptional vessel, which is the whole reason we call the circle of life, because that is the circle of life, right? And then the two major meridians opened up in my arms, and then my legs, the band around my head, the band around, in other words, the 12 major meridians. Steve, you have hit a home run with this patch. Talk to me about this patch.
You know, the patch wasn't thought of in terms of what you're talking about. Obviously, you're feeling it, and it could be simply because the reason you couldn't feel that before was something in your body was resisting that, right? And I'm so excited to hear that open up, and now we can explore how that patch is doing that. But in my mind, I'm sitting here going, well, I developed the patch. It's about 125 different frequencies on conception vessel, right below the belly button, right? And it was designed to push the amount of testosterone that's naturally in our body to that point. Now, we can suppress testosterone with what we eat or what we drink, no exercise. Our testosterone is going to drop down or drift down. So let's say for a healthy man like me at 60 years old, my number should be 75. Right. Well, if you were to test me prior to my mass patch, it's going to be maybe in the 50s or 40s, simply because lifestyle is you're not going to. So what we've done is created the frequencies that awaken that endocrine system, the androgenic cycle in the body, which is the production of testosterone, one of life's most important molecules. It's created with connection to the brain and our endocrine system. So I said, you know what? I want to free this up. I want to get back and push the T levels, testosterone levels, back to where God intended it for a 60-year-old man. And we're all different. Your numbers, your normal number, your God number is going to be slightly different than mine. But what I found was, when we started testing this over a year ago, what I found was I was starting to push it really close, and I didn't know where my normal level was. I just know that I got it to go from 50 to 75, and I'm very happy with that number being at that. My whole life, my energy, all the things that I expect out of better testosterone is happening to me. So we just continue to look at frequencies. Now, as we think about it, CV4 is a pretty powerful meridian, right? Point on the body. I hadn't thought about the backside, but we're going to do some experiments to see.
We have to, Steve. We have to investigate. This is huge because here, with what you set in motion, we know that's working, but now we're affecting the energy body to itself. Now we're impacting the 12 major meridians in the body that stabilize health. I mean, this is what an acupuncturist dream. Literally, I mean, can you imagine there was a Qigong exercise totally devoted to these 12 meridians, right? So acupuncture's seasonal adjustment totally to that. So we're talking about 5,000-year-old history, right? And now all of a sudden you created a patch to do this. Well, it's doing this, but now it's also doing that. And this is huge. I mean, this is a blessing, Steve. This is a huge blessing.
Well, we need to figure out how to harness that for folks that know what to do with that when it happens, right?
Exactly.
We can open that up, but I'm afraid that maybe that could be bad if we're not in the presence of knowing that that's so much of our body is open. And maybe that ought to be a part of the circle of life and the advanced training.
Well, the beautiful thing of it is people need to know one of the things that makes the circle of life so profound. In other words, if it's going to open the chakras and stimulate the glands and the meridians, the exercises, that 45-day challenge is geared to also open up the 12 major vessels. Now, watch this. I've got a bracelet that I can do the exercise with or without. Check it and see. I've got a pain patch for discomfort. I can do the exercise. Is it better with it? I can check. I can be the scientist, right? And now I have a mass patch that was created to increase T levels in the body, but that could also impact what you started. One of the major reasons you started doing Tai Chi Gong to start with.
Absolutely. And we need to test it on men and women, obviously. Yes. And find out just now what the power is. And we can do a mass patch tweaked if we need to tweak it a little bit. Let's call it the 12-point patch. And it's designed for folks that truly want to get and allow energy to become part of their life. Okay. And in the training that they're going to be able to go through and see the difference that it makes. And this simple little patch that wasn't designed to do that. But I'm not surprised, given that we give the body some of the most basic frequencies that it needs to be healthy. Looking at the endocrine system, right? I didn't look at cardiovascular system. I didn't look at the nervous system. I said, you know what? The endocrine system, what does it take to balance? In women, they make testosterone in their ovaries, the adrenal glands, and some other tissue in the body produces some, and their normal level might be 15. Right. Okay, that God level is 15. They may be operating 6 or 7, which affects libido, it affects their cycles, it affects a lot of their life.
Oh yeah.
We get synthetic testosterone in much of the meat that we eat all the time. So this is designed to push our body where it belongs. So it's exciting because it was designed with hours and hours and hours of research done on the endocrine side. Okay.
Well, see, to me, Steve, that explains it. You just explained it, because look, the Lama theory looks at the endocrine gland system. You're going to love this term. It's the software of the human body. They look at it as the software, right? I mean, look from drug therapies on the other side of the table, right, to everything in the last 20 years. Where has, even Mayo Clinic, where has it been concentrated? Well, we know if we're going to prolong life, endocrine gland system has to be addressed. It's absolutely a must, because what we do know, when it shuts down prematurely, when you start losing hyperthymus, thymus function, a pituitary function in your 20s or 30s, it's not unreasonable for you to be diagnosed with chronic fatigue when that shouldn't even begin to happen until 50, 60 years old, right?
Exactly.
So we know that person is prematurely aging. But here we have a lamasery that's produced more llamas that have lived well over 100 years old. As a matter of fact, 6 of our 36 lamas that are still practicing are in excess of 100 years old. We know a little bit about health and longevity, right? And so I always joke with the people. I mean, I love the Catholic Church, but in 2,000 years, there's been more pontiffs than there's been Mahalamas because of the longevity that they've lived almost twice the average pope's age. So that's significant. We know a little bit about health and longevity, but I am so excited, Steve, what we're doing together. I'm about to come unglued, I'll tell you.